San Antonio starts right now.
Making news this morning, new details being released about a suspect who police say shot and killed a man at his home on the south side.
Plus, as President Biden inches toward his 100th day in office, he continues to push for his infrastructure plan.
Outside with Live Cam, we had a spectacular weekend. It got a little warm in the afternoons. What does the trend hold weather-wise as we go into the last week of the month? Mike is standing by with more on that. And a good morning to you. It is Monday. It is April 26th.
Thanks for joining us and welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back. Had a great vacation. It's nice to have Mike Osterhage back with us as well. We've got the family back together on your Monday morning.
Yeah, welcome back, Mike.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a nice and beautiful weekend yesterday. It was really nice. Got kind of hot up in the upper 80s. It's going to be hot again, but the difference being a little more humidity the next couple of days. But we will get somewhat of a break by the end of the week. And also some decent rain chances going to be coming in here by midweek. First of all, you step outside this morning and it's not like it hits you in the face, but yeah, you're going to notice more humidity out there. We do have a lot of clouds hanging around. Temperature is at 68 degrees, mid 60s in the hill country as of right now. And these numbers did come up, those dew points. You get above 60, you feel it. So 62, like I said, it's not bad, but it will continue to increase throughout the rest of the day. We've got a lot of clouds, but we'll see a bit more in the way of some sunshine mixed in later on this afternoon. Moles on the high side, little bits of oak and pecan. I think we finally gotten over the oak season, and throughout the rest of today we are going to have a kind of a breezy afternoon as well. This morning, pretty much steady temperatures, mid upper 60s around the area, wind out of the southeast. It's going to be kind of breezy, 15-20 miles per hour gusting from there, and we're going to get up to 89 degrees. Now, starting tomorrow, a little bit of a rain chance. Best rain chance though is going to be Wednesday. Maybe a situation of watch what you ask for, because it could get a whole bunch in places. We'll talk about that and what to expect for the upcoming weekend. First weekend of May coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. Now to late breaking news. An early morning fire forces a family out of their home near Live Oak.
Fire crews arrived in the 7,000 block of Elusive Pass, not far from East Loop 1604, to find the home engulfed in flames. Stephen Cavazos is live there this morning. Now, Stephen, how bad is the damage?
Mark, Stephanie, I know it's still pretty dark this morning, but if you take a look right over here, this is the damage that is left behind at this home. It almost appears as if that roof was just completely ripped off that second floor. Now, investigators do estimate that the damage could be up to $300,000, but we're told the house is a total loss. Now, that second floor was completely damaged by the fire and water. The scene is slowly clearing up, but when crews arrived, they had found flames coming from the roof and sides of the home. Now, the family who was inside was able to get out of there safely, and I was able to speak with them off camera briefly before coming up here this morning, and they tell me that they are dealing with the loss of most of their belongings, several clothing items, but they haven't gone back inside to get the full scope of the damage. Right now, they'll be staying with a relative for the time being until they figure out what they will do next. However, they are just happy they were all able to get out safely this morning. For now, reporting live, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Stephen. We now know the name of the suspect who police say shot and killed a man at his home last week on the south side. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identified him as 36-year-old Brian DeLeon. The shooting happened on Tuesday around 6 p.m. on Clutter Avenue. The homeowner, who was identified as Bobby Borrego, was in his shed with a friend. That's when police say DeLeon showed up and started firing, killing Borrego. The friend was able to escape. 5 police officers arrived on the scene, and they say DeLeon began firing at them too. Police returned fire, killing him. The motive for the shooting is still unknown.
On Thursday, President Joe Biden will officially reach his 100th day in office.
And as his administration remains focused on COVID-19 related health and economic issues, the president is also hoping to get his sweeping infrastructure plan through Congress. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
This week, President Joe Biden will unveil the latest part of his economic agenda during his first joint address to Congress since laying out his jobs and infrastructure proposal last month in Pittsburgh.
Even as he's making these final decisions, that the American Families Plan and the speech on Wednesday will not represent the totality of every priority item for him and every item on his agenda that he wants to move forward as president.
Sources say Biden's proposal includes reducing child care costs and boosting paid family leave. The White House's plan would nearly double the capital gains tax for those who earn more than $1 million annually. Republican lawmakers countered with their own proposal. It wouldn't raise taxes and would be paid for with offsets like user fees.
There are very few folks who will argue that they don't want to see government funds invested well. I mean, this is one of the reasons why President Biden can call just about anything infrastructure and hope to throw that cloak over it for broad approval.
Despite the differences, it appears the lines of communication are open between the two parties.
I've talked to our ranking members. I've talked to my committee chairman. I've talked to Democrats. This is an active conversation, and I think that it's a good beginning.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Right now it is 4:35, 68 degrees.
And still ahead, why more travel freedoms could soon be coming to the Americas and vaccine rollouts continue.
Plus, your Spurs are on the road for most of the week. We'll take a look at their schedule as they try to expand on some recent victories.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, it's 68 degrees. Not too bad out there, and it did get pretty warm this weekend, but we're going to check in with Mike again to see what our rain chances will be this week. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 4:38 today. Vice President Kamala Harris will make the case before UN members that now is the time for global leaders to look at how they will respond to the next global pandemic. The virtual address will be Harris's second to a UN body since her inauguration. It will come as the United States makes progress on vaccinating the public and much of the world struggles to acquire vaccines. In excerpts from the speech, Harris says, quote, "At the same time the world works to get through this pandemic, we also know that we must prepare for the next," end quote.
Americans who have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19 will be allowed to have a European vacation this summer. The president of the European Commission says that vaccinated Americans can travel to and within the European Union. However, no specific timeline was offered on when exactly tourist travel might open up. That includes any details on exactly how it would work, such as how tourists would prove they've been vaccinated. Because of Brexit, the United Kingdom is no longer a part of the EU, so it's not clear if U.S. citizens would be welcome there.
The Kremlin has announced a possible meeting between President Putin and President Biden in June. This as pressure is growing on President Biden to take action to prevent the completion of a Russian gas pipeline to Europe. Many fear will give the Kremlin significant leverage over U.S. partners and allies. But such actions could provoke a rift in transatlantic relations, notably with Germany, at a time when Biden has made restoring good ties with Europe a priority. U.S. lawmakers from both parties have stepped up demands on a reluctant White House to impose new sanctions on Russia and European companies to halt the project. But prospects of that happening would be slim, or seems to be slim. Germany continues to support the project as it steps up consumption of natural gas, and the pipeline is roughly 95% finished. President Biden has said he opposes the pipeline.
And our San Antonio Spurs will try to get their third win in a row tonight when they face the Wizards on the road in Washington. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Then on Wednesday, the Spurs travel to Miami to face the Heat starting at 7 p.m. Friday, they head up the coast to Boston to take on the Celtics. And Sunday, the team returns home to welcome the Philadelphia 76ers to the AT&T Center.
Since I was off last week, I actually got to watch part of a game.
Oh, good.
I hadn't really had a chance to watch our guys this year.
With the schedule, right?
Yeah, still a bunch of faces. I don't know. It just something seems off this year to me about the team. I know they've struggled. You know, I think when I watched them, they were 29-29 in the year. But I don't know. It just seems like they're missing that spark this year.
It has been a struggle.
It's been a challenge.
And a tough schedule as well. Yeah.
Right now, 441, about 68 degrees.
And still ahead, why a local sixth grader was inspired to start her Take Care of Texas campaign.
It's exactly 4:44. Welcome back. A local sixth grader who won the Take Care of Texas campaign is raising awareness about Texas aquifers in a 30-second project.
And as our Japhanie Gray explains, she says she's just having fun doing what she loves.
Do you care about the water you drink like I do?
This vibrant 12-year-old is Sophia Ramirez.
Texas aquifers supply 60% of all water used in Texas.
And this is a PSA she made for an environmental campaign contest called Take Care of Texas. She won first place out of 200 participants. How did that feel to you?
Crazy. I know her and I know she has this personality. I just didn't expect it to all come together the way it did. And so she really kind of wowed me.
With the help of her parents.
Threw out my back the day before we started filming, and I was the camera guy.
Sophia excelled beyond her expectations with the project, raising awareness about Texas aquifers.
A study showed that over 10 million Texans consumed weed killer in their drinking water.
And with humor.
Please don't make me drink this.
But this is just a part of Sophia's ambitious story.
She generally has always had this magnetism that just draws people in, especially this daddy.
Sophia loves to volunteer, draw, and read.
I can memorize entire chapters of a book, but forget what I had for dinner last night.
And she loves performing, storytelling, and script writing.
I always like trying my best in things that I like doing.
Not to mention she's bilingual and can play piano. All of which are skills she says helped make her Take Care of Texas project a success.
Take Care of Texas! It's the only one we've got!
We try and arm our kids with, prepare the kid for the path, not the path for the child, and just let them know what's right, and let them take care of the rest. And honestly, we couldn't be prouder.
For What's Up South Texas, I'm Japhanie Gray.
Congrats,
Congratulations. Again, I'm amazed by some kids these days, the poise and passion that they have.
And I think it helps that she's well-rounded. And she mentioned that it helped her, put out the product and, multi-talented.
Nice to meet you and your family. We wish you the very best in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And taking a look at 68 degrees right now, not too bad for now. Is it going to warm up like yesterday, Mike?
Yeah, we're going to be adding about 20 to where we are right now, and you'll definitely start to feel the humidity, kind of a little bit this morning. It's not bad when you step outside, but you'll definitely notice it throughout the rest of the day as far as the humidity is concerned. Got a lot of clouds hanging around here right now. Yesterday, we, of course, had that, spectacular sunrise, and I don't think that's going to necessarily be the situation this morning, but we will see a bit more sunshine kind of thrown in as the day rolls on. So here's the clouds that are coming on in here. We, of course, had plenty of sunshine throughout the day yesterday. It was great just to be outside and just take a nice breath, although looking at my yard, we could use some rain, and we do have some coming, though, by about midweek. Actually, starting tomorrow, there is at least the chance for some rain. Here's what this computer model is indicating. Nothing going on today. We'll have forgot to put the pauses in there. Let me go back, and I'll play this through one more time. Sorry about that. And we do have no rain chances today, but we will have a couple of showers around here tomorrow. And then as we go into tomorrow night and Wednesday, the better chance for some rain. And then that's going to start to clear out Thursday. Wednesday night, actually, we could have some heavy downpours, especially in portions of the hill country. Then on top of that, there is the chance for a couple of those storms to be on the strong side. A very small chance that something could be potentially strong or severe out in the hill country, the marginal risk, and this is tomorrow evening, and then also on Wednesday evening. Wednesday, it'll start later on, and then especially in the overnight hours, and it looks like early on Thursday we'll still have some leftover rain around here, and some of those storms, like I said, could be on the potentially stronger side as we get into Wednesday. And then after that, what's nice is we get a front moving on through here by roughly midweek, and that's going to then get rid of some of the humidity, so it's going to be much more pleasant. We'll actually have cooler low temperatures, upper 50s to round out the week and going into the weekend as well. But the next couple of days, we've got a bunch of humidity around here. At least it's looking decent chance that it's going to get squeezed out in the form of some rain. So today, 80 at noon, mostly cloudy skies, a lot of these leftover clouds. Then we'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. It is going to be a bit on the breezy side today. Wind out of the southeast at about 10, 20 miles per hour, and 89 for a high temperature. And you'll feel it with that humidity. Then tomorrow, we'll have a few showers around here, and then we get into 85 degrees, so down just a bit. Then the day that we're really looking for some rain is going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid around here. Some showers and thunderstorms, especially then later Wednesday night, overnight into early Thursday. 82 on Thursday. And then look at the low temperatures as we go in toward the end of the week. Lows in the 50s, highs in the low 80s. It's going to be a really, really pleasant weekend. First Saturday of May. Kentucky Derby coming up here, but yeah, fingers crossed for some rain. Hopefully not too much Wednesday night.
Okay, hope not, but I like the cool down at the end of the week.
Hey, it's going to be real nice.
Thanks, Mike.
Enjoy it now, because you know what ain't going to happen this
right.
We know what's next, right?
Yeah.
It's about 10 till, and we're at about 68 degrees.
And Jeopardy getting ready for its final guest host. Still ahead, who's filling the spot?
Lottery numbers, your pick 3 numbers. 729, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 3033, Fireball 2.
Cash 5, 2, 12, 15, 20, 22. And Lotto Texas 3, 6, 19, 24, 39, 43. And your Powerball numbers 22, 36, 48, 59, 61, Powerball 22, Power Play 3. Good luck.
Jeopardy welcoming its final guest host, plus Elon Musk is trying out show business.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
LeVar Burton will be among the final group of guest hosts on Jeopardy. More than 246,000 of his supporters signed a petition saying Burton, who is the host of the children's educational program Reading Rainbow, has, quote, inspired and shaped the minds of several generations of trivia-loving nerds. TV anchors George Stephanopoulos and Robin Roberts of ABC, David Faber of CNBC, and sportscaster Joe Buck are among other guest hosts with upcoming one-week stints on the Answers and Questions show. Technology mogul Elon Musk has taken on a new venture. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO will try his hand at showbiz when he hosts Saturday Night Live. Musk, who has an estimated fortune of roughly $177 billion, does have a little experience with comedy, regularly joking around on Twitter, where he has an impressive 52 million followers. Musk is set to host SNL on May 8th. The musical guest that night, Miley Cyrus. Film and theater producer Scott Rudin is resigning from the Broadway League, a powerful trade organization for theater owners and producers. Rudin, whose Broadway credits include To Kill a Mockingbird, The Book of Mormon, and a revival of West Side Story, is facing allegations of decades of abusive and violent behavior. And happy birthday to Kevin James. The King of Queens is turning 56. And television comedy legend Carol Burnett is celebrating her 88th birthday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Happy birthday, Carol Burnett with San Antonio Connections. Google it. Hey, installing smoke alarms in your home can reduce your chance of dying in a house fire by half. On Saturday, May 8th from 9 to 4, the American Red Cross serving Central and South Texas in partnership with San Antonio Fire Department will fulfill requests to install free smoke alarms in San Antonio. You can schedule an appointment at KSATcommunity.com.
And time now is 4:55 and about 67 degrees right now.
New numbers from the CDC show about 5 million Americans have missed their second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Still ahead on GMSA, what health experts are now saying.
And if you're a fan of Honda vehicles, we have details on when the company plans to ditch gasoline-powered cars entirely. That's coming up in Tech Bites.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And coming up, the United States has reached a critical point in the COVID crisis after the Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause was lifted. What comes next now that it's available once again?
Hope you had an awesome weekend outside with live cam this morning. The morning clouds are back, mild temperatures out there. Mike says storms are in the forecast for the work week. He'll have details in just a moment, so stand by for that. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. It is April 26th.
Rise and shine. Thanks for being with us this morning. Go ahead and grab that extra cup of coffee because, yes, it is Monday, but it's going to be a nice day for the most part, maybe a little warm.
Yeah, quite warm. It got up in the upper 80s yesterday, Mike Osterhage.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to be right up there again today. Difference being, we'll have some more humidity today like we had this morning. It's not like you walk outside and start sweating or anything like that right now, but it is pretty humid out there. And 68 degrees as of right now. That dew point has gotten above 60, which means you sort of notice it. And throughout the rest of today, temperatures are going to continue to go up and up throughout the rest of the day. We're going to make it up into the mid and even some upper 80s around here. And the aquifer did go up 1/10 of a foot. Of course, we are still under stage 2 watering restrictions. And the allergens, molds on the high side, little bits of everything else. Oak and pecan looks like we're finally on the downward slide of oak season after we hit some of those record amounts a couple of weeks ago with the oak. All right, as far as wind this morning, we've got a little bit of a breeze breeze out there. That's helping to prevent really any fog from forming up. Wind out of the southeast about, say, 10, 15 miles per hour in some spots, 12 out there at the airport. And it is going to be on the breezy side later on today. These numbers are going to be about 15, 20 miles per hour, kind of gusty at times, especially later on this afternoon. Once again, mold is on the high side. The updated count is going to be coming out about, say, 7:30 or so. 67 degrees this morning, pretty much steady temperatures, and with all that humidity and the cloud cover out there. And then again, later on today, 89 for a high. About what it was yesterday. Again, more humidity and those breezy winds. Now, we do have some, decent rain chances coming in here, especially by the middle of the week. Rain chances start tomorrow, but especially on Wednesday. All those details and a pretty good looking forecast to wrap up April and start off May. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority Samuel King. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everyone out there. Things looking pretty good for start on a Monday morning here as we head over to the wall, take a closer look at some things. We had some construction here on the northeast side, up a little farther north on 1604 in Pat Booker. And right now we do have a slowdown southbound on Austin Highway at Walsham Road. You're down to 21 miles per hour there. So just something to watch out for. Really the only major delay we're seeing on the board right now. Looking at some travel times across the area, fairly normal. Everybody in the green, so that's good, including 27 minutes coming in on 35 from New Braunfels to downtown San Antonio, 29 minutes coming in from Seguin. And here's a look at TransGuide 1604 at Bandera, looking good this morning, as is Loop 410 at Callahan. We'll have another update coming up.
Thank you, Samuel. Good to see you, sir. Well, a home is destroyed following an early morning fire near Live Oak, and a family is left wondering what they will do next.
It happened in the 7,000 block of Elusive Pass, not far from East Loop 1604. Stephen Cavazos is live there this morning. Now, Stephen, we understand you spoke to the family. Was everyone able to get out safely?
Yeah, Mark, Stephanie, thankfully everybody was able to get out of that home safely, and the family told me off camera that they're just happy to be together. But take a look at what they're dealing with this morning. This is what is left behind following that early morning fire, and investigators are calling this a total loss. Now, it's not clear how this all started, but when crews got out here sometime after 1:30 this morning, they could see heavy flames coming from the roof and sides of the home. Now, the second floor there, as you can see, sustained most of the damage due to fire and water, estimating close to $300,000 in damages. Now, again, thankfully, the family was out on time, but again, they tell me that they're dealing with a big loss this morning. Many of their belongings are now gone, but for now, they'll be staying with a relative until they can figure out what they'll do next. Reporting live this morning, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman was hit by a vehicle late last night trying to cross a street in the downtown area. It happened at the intersection of North Alamo and 8th Street just after 11 p.m. Police say two men and a woman were crossing the street after leaving a bar. That's when police say a man driving a car ended up hitting the woman. She was taken to a hospital with a non-life-threatening head injury. No one else was hurt. Police say the driver was being evaluated for DWI. More late-breaking news. It had already been a rough day for workers at a Southside convenience store, and the business hasn't even opened yet.
San Antonio police took a man into custody who they say broke in and threatened employees. Katrina Weber is live at the scene on Fair Avenue near Interstate 37. Now, Katrina, was anyone hurt?
The police tell us the employees are not injured, but the suspect was taken to a hospital for a couple of reasons, mainly because he shattered the door on the store. The front door is shattered, the glass. Police say this happened before 4 o'clock this morning. The workers were inside with the doors locked. According to police, they were having some sort of computer problems and they were not open just yet. But they say a man walked up, began banging on the door, shattered it, and then went inside the business. According to police, he somehow had a couple of screwdrivers in his hands, and they say that he chased around the employees for a time. One of them was able to call police. They arrived very quickly, took the man into custody before he could hurt any of the workers. But again, they say that he did cut his hand, and they also took him to the hospital to be evaluated mentally. Police say that nothing was taken. And again, the workers not hurt, but I'm imagining that they're pretty shaken up by what happened early this morning. Reporting live on the South Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Right now it's 5:04. This morning, 31 states have resumed using the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And there's more good news as Dr. Anthony Fauci expects guidelines for mass outdoors to be relaxed.
And this summer, fully vaccinated Americans will be able to travel to Europe. ABC's Ika Jachi has the latest from Washington.
This morning, good news for Americans eager to travel. Vaccinated tourists will be allowed to visit Europe once again as early as this summer. The head of the European Union telling the New York Times that all 27 member states will accept unconditionally all those who are vaccinated.
With the vaccination, you should be able to travel, especially domestically. Now, internationally is still a question that we all have in the public health community, especially the European Union, where you have countries like France, Spain, Germany, and Italy, which have only just roughly vaccinated 7% of their population.
It comes as 31 states begin using the Johnson & Johnson vaccine again after an 11-day pause. Out of 8 million administered doses, the CDC found 15 women suffered blood clots after getting the shot, but officials concluded the vaccine's benefits far outweigh the risks. But now, a new concern. More than 5 million people, or roughly 8% of people who got their first shot of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, may have missed the recommended window for their second crucial dose, or skipped it altogether. Doctors stress both doses are needed to beat the virus. Meanwhile, as the weather warms up, Dr. Anthony Fauci expects guidelines on wearing masks outdoors will be revised soon.
I think it's pretty common sense now that outdoor risk is really quite low.
Overseas this morning, India is facing what's described as a tsunami of COVID cases, more than 345,000 cases per day. Hospitals are turning away people, crematories can't keep up with the bodies. The White House says the U.S. will send India raw materials for vaccines, as well as PPE and ventilators. But critics say the vaccine-rich U.S. needs to do more in the coming days. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
San Antonio Metro Health is upping its effort to make COVID-19 vaccines more accessible for all communities all over San Antonio. On Sunday, they kicked off their mobile vaccine clinic at the Antioch Sports Complex on the east side. There, residents were able to walk up, fill out an application, and get their vaccine dose. Antioch Missionary Baptist Church pastor Dr. Kemp says there is no excuse why you shouldn't get a vaccine.
Just hundreds of millions of people have been vaccinated. And the number of adverse events have been so minuscule that it just doesn't make sense to wait anymore. Now is the time. Let's do it.
The next clinic is scheduled for today from 9 to 5 at the Knights of Columbus Hall. You must be 16 years of age or older. For more information about this and other clinics, you can visit this story on our website at KSAT.com.
So far, more than 56,000 people have cast their ballots for the May 1st election here in San Antonio, and you still have time to participate in the early voting period. There are 2 days left. Polling locations are open from 8 p.m. until 8 p.m. today or tomorrow to give as many people as possible an opportunity to take advantage of early voting. To see a sample ballot and find a polling location on our website, KSAT.com. Once again, Election Day coming up Saturday, May 1st.
And to take an even deeper dive into one of the biggest items on the ballot, you can check out the latest episodes of KSAT Explains. The team tackles Proposition B, which if passed would repeal collective bargaining for the San Antonio Police Officers Association. We take a look at the arguments for and against Prop B. You can watch it right now on KSAT.com or the KSAT TV app, which can be downloaded for free from the iTunes or Google Play Store.
But right now you are watching GMSA, and we're so glad you're with us. Right now, 5:08, about 67 degrees.
And still ahead, we're going to tell you more about Clubhouse's new partnership with the NFL for Draft Week.
And outside with Live Cam. It was good to see some rain off and on in the past few days. I'm not talking necessarily about this weekend, but we did see some. I know I need to mow my grass. Any more spring showers or storms in the forecast? Mike says, yeah, there are. Coming up. Dozens of San Antonio firefighters met with some significant challenges. They approached the flames that engulfed a portion of the historic Lone Star Brewery Saturday night.
Our team spoke with local residents who say they're hopeful the brewery will be returned to its glory days.
Makes me feel sad because we have a lot of fond memories of when we used to come over here when we were younger.
Very disappointing because it was a nice place when it was back in the 80s when I used to come.
Residents reacting after witnessing the fire that consumed part of their history, the Lone Star Brewery. Fire crews responding to the brewery located off Lone Star Boulevard just before 11 p.m. on Saturday. For lifelong resident Jaime Santillan, the brewery was a thriving, popular spot to visit when he was younger.
So what I see now versus what I remember in my mind is totally different. And it just makes me feel sad because of what it could have been, or what it could be too in the future.
SAFD Chief Charles Hood says at least 40 units arrived to attack the flames and prevent it from spreading through the 6-story building.
The one thing we're very thankful about, if you'd have looked at last month when we had the freeze, we would have been rescuing dozens of homeless people. So the building was empty, it was vacant.
Power lines and a lack of electricity at the brewery causing some challenges for fire crews. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Now residents are left reminiscing.
No, I wish the brewery was still up where everybody could enjoy to this day, you know. That's so sad how it caught on fire.
I remember coming with my grandparents and they would bring wooden coins to get the soda pops.
Some residents are still hopeful the brewery can be repaired and turned into a new entertainment destination for the area, while others not so much.
The property taxes would go up, the property values would go up, and so a lot of the people that currently live in this area would be displaced.
And that was Jonathan Cotto reporting.
5:13 on your Monday morning.
Still ahead, another major car company pledging to put more electric cars in its dealership parking lots.
And it's what kids might be talking about, a famous soccer star, the latest feature in popular online video game Fortnite.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease is out there. And the Alzheimer's Association is going to make it happen by funding scientific breakthroughs, advancing public policy, and providing local support to those living with the disease and their caregivers. But we won't get there without you. Join the fight with the Alzheimer's Association.
It's a simple fact. Nothing kills more germs on more surfaces than Lysol spray. It's a simple fact. It even kills the COVID-19 virus. Science supports these simple facts. There's only one true Lysol. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health.
5:17, good morning. Audio social platform Clubhouse teaming up with the National Football League to produce exclusive programming during the upcoming NFL Draft. ABC's Deirdre Bolton has the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the NFL gets a new draft teammate. Audio social platform Clubhouse partnering with the National Football League. Draft-themed rooms will include player evaluations and a mock draft for fans. The annual NFL Draft begins Thursday. Honda has announced plans to shift its cars entirely to electric vehicles by 2040. In order to phase out all of its gas-powered cars and SUVs over the next 20 years, the automaker is using a new electric vehicle platform to build the cars with the goal of becoming carbon neutral. Finally, Brazilian soccer star Neymar joining Fortnite starting tomorrow. He is the first playable athlete in the globally popular game, but if you want to dress him in the outfit inspired by Brazil's famous jersey, you have to finish 5 challenges inside the game. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
We're going to talk weather in just a moment.
Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King this Monday morning.
Good morning, Stephanie and Mark. Good to see you. And we do have a couple of issues starting to develop out there. Generally dry. You can see a lot of green on the map, but that doesn't mean we're not seeing some issues. And this one has just popped up here. This is US 90 eastbound at Nogalitos. There is a crash being reported there. Might be in the frontage roads because we're really not seeing delays on US 90 itself just yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Had some construction overnight on I-10 in the Bernie area. Things should be clearing out now, but the travel time's looking good right there. As you can see, 24 minutes between Bernie and downtown in each direction. And once you get inside 1604, a little bit slower heading inbound. There might be some delays there near 1604 and I-10, so 13 minutes from 1604 into downtown San Antonio. 11 minutes the other way. And here's a look at Trans 535 at Nogalitos. You saw there briefly, 35 in Loop 410 flowing well this morning. I have another update coming up.
Thank you, Samuel. Mike, as I look at your picture, I'm mourning the loss of a large tree in my backyard. It is simply not going to make it. The new growth is down at the base of the trunk, but everything else is flat out dead. It almost looks like mold is now growing on some of the bark. But it's a real unusual tree, too. It's just sizable, so I wish we could have saved it.
Well, at least, I mean, maybe new growth, so come back in. Okay, yeah, beautiful picture of this tree out there. Gorgeous morning. This was taken yesterday, and I don't think we're going to be quite as pretty this morning. We've got a lot of clouds around here, and as you saw in some of those TransGuide cameras, Sam was showing, it looks kind of fuzzy in places because we got a lot of humidity, and this shot looks a little bit kind of on the fuzzy side as well. Temperature yesterday made it up to 88, 99 in Cotulla, 97 in Carrizo Springs, and we're going to be right up there again today. Difference being, though, we're going to have some more humidity around here. We've got a little more humidity this morning compared to yesterday. It's not oppressively humid, but these dew points measure moisture in the atmosphere. We've got the good southeasterly wind, and wind's going to be picking up as well today, so it is going to be somewhat on the breezy side, but that's going to continue to pump in all of this humidity throughout the course of the day. So we will see dew points getting and staying in the mid and even some upper 60s around here. That's going to be the case tomorrow as well. The difference being tomorrow also, we do have a couple of, some little disturbances moving on in here, so we may actually see a shower or two. It's possible tomorrow, but especially then going into the evening hours. Today, nothing going on around here. And then again, tomorrow, maybe a couple of showers scattered about. Tomorrow night, and notice how it's like way up there to the northwest of us, there is the chance for a few showers and thunderstorms, one or two of those creeping into portions of the hill country. Then we go into Wednesday, and that's going to be right now is setting up for the best opportunity for some rain, especially it's looking like if you had to kind of point to one broad area, it would be a little bit more north and west. And we've got showers around here, a couple of them throughout the day, but then especially Wednesday night is when we see this system developing around here. And that's going to be perhaps a heavy rain producer. That's one of the things we're going to have to be on the lookout for late Wednesday night going into early Thursday morning. Some of those leftover showers on Thursday, mixture of some sun and clouds. Then we're going to be clearing out very nicely going into Friday. But then also we've got the severe risk. Now, even tomorrow night, like I said, there is the chance, and remember on the computer model, all the rain was way up there to the northwest. That's where the slightly better chance for anything severe is. Tomorrow night, again, maybe in the hill country, and then again on Wednesday, primarily in the hill country, pretty much along, say, 281-35 west of there would be late Wednesday night. Hail, high wind, biggest threat, and again, some heavy rain is also going to be a threat on especially late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning out to the west. 80 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies, so a lot of these leftover clouds around here, and I'm going for a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. 89 high temperature, but more humidity, and it's also going to be breezy. Wind out of the southwest about 10-20 miles per hour, gusting from there. A couple of showers around then tomorrow, one or two of them, 85 degrees, up to 90 though on Wednesday. And with all that heat and humidity, that's setting the stage for potentially a couple of stronger storms late Wednesday night, and heavy rain is what we'll have to be on the lookout for going into Thursday morning in the hill country mainly. And then look at those temperatures down in the low 80s to finish up the week, finish up April, going into the 1st of May, and low humidity as well.
Not bad.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
For this time span, right? Thanks, Mike.
About 5:23 on your Monday.
And up next in your morning spotlight, a recap of the big winners at last night's Academy Awards, details on the record number of women who won Oscars this year.
Pick three numbers, 729 Fireball 6, Daily 4 numbers 3033 Fireball 2.
Cash 5, 2, 12, 15, 20, 22. And Lotto Texas 3, 6, 19, 24, 39, 43. And your Powerball numbers 22, 36, 48, 59, 61, Powerball 22, Power Play 3. Good luck.
It was a historic night at the Oscars. A record 17 trophies went to women.
CNN's David Daniel has the highlights from the 93rd Academy Awards in today's Hollywood Minute.
Boom! Live TV. Here we go.
The 2021 Oscars had a few stumbles and surprises, like nominee Glenn Close doing debut as part of a trivia challenge. Some wins were expected, like Daniel Kaluuya taking Best Supporting Actor for Judas and the Black Messiah. Kaluuya paid tribute to the man he played, Black Panthers leader Fred Hampton.
What a man. How blessed we are that we lived in a lifetime where he existed. Do you know what I'm saying?
There were several firsts. Yoo Jung-yoon from Minari won Best Supporting Actress, the first Korean actress to win an acting Oscar.
We became a family, and most of all, above all, Lee Isaac Chung. Without him, I couldn't be here tonight.
Mia Neal and Jamaica Wilson were among the hair and makeup winners for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, the first black women even nominated in the category.
And I know that one day it won't be unusual or groundbreaking. It will just be normal.
I'm not leaving my flat! Anthony Hopkins didn't make it to Hollywood to accept his Best Actor Oscar for The Father. At 83, he's the oldest acting winner in Academy history.
Nomadland.
The night's big winner was Nomadland. Chloe Zhao and Frances McDormand were double winners, McDormand winning her third Best Actress trophy.
We give this one to our wolf.
Zhao becoming just the second woman ever to win Best Director and the first woman of color, and both women sharing in the Best Picture Oscar.
This is for anyone who have the faith and the courage to hold on to the goodness in themselves and to hold on to the goodness in each other.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And time now is 5:28 and about 67 degrees right now.
We have some good news on the COVID-19 vaccine front. Still ahead on GMSA, why health officials say more Americans will get to enjoy a lot of travel freedoms.
Plus, taking a look back at which campaign promises Joe Biden has been able to keep as he approaches his 100th day as president of the United States.
Good Monday morning. It is April 26th.
Thanks for joining us today, and a welcome back to you.
Thank you. And to Mike Osterhage. We both were off last week. I remember you.
I remember you.
You got the gray hair over here. Anyway, hey, we're starting out this morning, on the heels of a really, really nice looking weekend. Yesterday was very pleasant. It was pretty hot in the afternoon. If you're in the shade, it was a little more pleasant. This morning, starting to feel a bit more humidity, and you kind of see a little fuzz out there on the live cam shot looking off there to the west over by the airport. And obviously, we've got a lot of clouds hanging around here as well. 68 degrees right now. That number, dew point, is up to 62. Again, you always get above 60, kind of feel it. It's not bad, though. However, these numbers are going to continue to kind of creep up over the next couple of days. Wind is out of the south at 11 miles per hour, and we are going to see a decent breeze throughout the day. Water vapor imagery, and this is just to kind of measuring or indicating the moisture aloft in the atmosphere. There's a lot more of it upstairs, which is going to be helping out with more cloud cover. So it'll be tough to see a whole bunch of sunshine today. Nothing like what we saw yesterday. We will see more later on today, and that's really going to help to drive those temperatures up there. So we're going to be back up into the upper 80s like yesterday. Again, difference being we are going to have more humidity. Mold is on the high side, and oak looks like we're finally on the waning days of the oak season. Oak and pecan are both low, and this morning cloudy, a bit more humid, and then sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. Getting into the upper 80s later on today. Again, more humidity out there, and then tomorrow we do have a chance for a couple of showers around here, maybe a storm or two, just one or two of them, but a little bit better chance tomorrow night. And then the best chance of rain is going to be on Wednesday, especially late Wednesday overnight. Some of that, maybe a strong storm or two, but some of that could be on the heavy side. In behind that, we have got a great stretch of weather coming on in here to finish up April and start off May. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King. What is going on, sir?
Good morning, Mike. Good morning to you out there. Things mostly looking okay, but we do have a couple of trouble spots here and there as we head over to the bigger map here just to show you what's going on this morning. First up, we still have this report of a crash here, US 90 at Nogalitos. You can see the green there on the main roads, so we believe this might be more of an issue on the shoulder or something like that, but just something to watch out for this morning if you're heading over toward I-35 on US 90. Coming all the way in from Castroville to downtown San Antonio, or into San Antonio, 19 minutes now, so that's a fairly still good travel time. 24 minutes come in from Bernie, 16 minutes on 35 from Lytle. You can take a quick look at some of the other travel times across the region. Here is TransGuide. This is at 37 at 410, 35 at Ben Zingelman. Traffic building there a little bit, but still flowing well. And we'll have another update coming up.
Thank you, Samuel. The doors were closed, but San Antonio police say trouble still found a way inside a Southside convenience store. They say a man armed with screwdrivers barged into the business on Fair Avenue near Interstate 37. Katrina Weber is live at the scene. Now, Katrina, you mentioned there were workers inside at the time.
Well, that's right. At least 2 workers inside this business with the doors locked, but police say a man still found a way inside right through the front door. In fact, he broke through the glass, got into the business as it was still locked up. Police say once inside there, he grabbed a couple of screwdrivers and then started chasing those workers around. Now, he didn't harm them physically, but they were very shaken up, according to a witness. Police got here very quickly. They were able to grab that man, take him into custody. They say he did have some injuries, though, to his hand from breaking into the business. They also took him into custody for a mental evaluation. Police have been here ever since just before 4 o'clock this morning, and that's when this all went down. But it looks like they are wrapping up their investigation here. They just started taking down the crime scene tape that they had stretched across the parking lot. But again, the workers not physically injured, but shaken up by their run-in with that man armed with screwdrivers. Reporting live on the South Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. 5:35 as the U.S. resumes use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. New numbers show more than 42% of Americans have received at least one vaccine dose.
Now efforts turn towards those reluctant to get vaccinated. Top U.S. health officials touting more freedoms for those who are fully protected. Mandy Gaither has the latest.
It's the latest push in the race to get more COVID-19 vaccines in the arms of Americans.
I think we're increasingly going to see a world where people who've been vaccinated are going to enjoy a lot of freedoms,
including travel. The New York Times reporting the European Union will allow vaccinated U.S. tourists to visit Europe this summer.
Whether it's traveling to Europe or whether it's just seeing your family and friends without having to worry, vaccination's the key.
Other vaccination incentives may soon follow. The CDC expected to come out with updated guidelines for the fully vaccinated, specifically when it comes to wearing masks outdoors.
So stay tuned, it's coming soon.
All this comes at a time when the U.S. could soon have more doses of the vaccine than people who are willing to receive them. And CDC data shows 8% of people who got one dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines have missed their second shot.
Whenever you have a 2-dose vaccine, you're going to see people who, for one reason or other, convenience, forgetting, a number of other things, just don't show up for the second vaccine.
For those 2-dose vaccines, officials say the protection is stronger and lasts longer with 2 shots than with just 1. I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
Back here at home, the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce has been front and center trying to help get our local economy up and running during the pandemic.
Chamber of Commerce Public Policy Council Chair joined Leading SA this weekend to talk about the challenges they faced and how the city is moving forward.
We spoke with Jamie Mangelsdorf, the Public Policy Council Chair. We talked about a lot, specifically testifying on the bills at the state capitol that could have a huge impact on our local economy. Take a listen.
Senate Bill 14 is also another bill that we testified on and that we are front and center with our legislators in Austin. So this bill was filed by Senator Brent Creighton, and it would provide stability for Texas employers by preventing local governments from imposing burdensome and inconsistent mandates on private sector employment practices.
You can watch the entire interview right now. Just head to KSAT.com. It is fascinating as Jamie explains the bills and these economic implications. Now, we have Leading SA every weekend, so if you have anyone you'd like to hear from or if you have any questions that you would like asked, you can submit that right now to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com or email me or Sarah Acosta. Guys, back to you.
Before the U.S. Supreme Court this week, an argument over whether public schools can discipline students over something they say off campus. It stems from a 14-year-old student suspended from cheerleading over a profanity-laced post on Snapchat. The topic especially meaningful in a time of remote learning because of the pandemic and rising awareness of the effects of online bullying. The case has its roots in the Vietnam-era case of a high school in Des Moines, Iowa, that suspended students who wore armbands to protest the war. In that landmark ruling, the court sided with students, declaring students, quote, don't shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate, end quote.
NASA's Ingenuity helicopter continues to outdo itself. Sunday, it successfully flew for the third time on Mars in a week. According to NASA, the helicopter logged a flight that was faster, farther, and bolder than the previous ones. It exceeded speeds and distances beyond what it proved capable of doing during testing on Earth. A camera aboard NASA's Perseverance Mars rover captured this video of the journey. The helicopter climbed 16 feet, the same altitude from its second flight, but this time it increased speed from 1 to about 4.5 miles per hour.
Still mind-boggling stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I can't reprogram my garage door opener, but we can send a drone-like helicopter to another planet, for God's sakes.
Well, yeah, I'm right there with you, Mark.
Right now it's 5:40 on your Monday morning. Glad you're with us.
Still ahead, why a company has decided to make a beer that tastes bad on purpose.
Next, as President Biden approaches his 100th day in office, a look at which campaign promises he has kept and which ones he hasn't.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're shaping up to be another pretty warm day here in San Antonio, but that humidity might pay off this week. We're going to check in with Mike later on.
5:43 on your Monday morning. The White House says police reform will be on President Joe Biden's agenda when he speaks to a joint session of Congress this week.
As he's approaching his first 100 days in office, an ABC News Washington Post poll finds Biden's overall job approval is at 52%. ABC Mary Alice Parks has more on the president's plan this week.
In his first joint address to Congress this week, President Biden expected to talk about what he's done and what he hopes to do next. He came into office promising to lead the nation out of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, in his first 100 days, 200 million vaccine shots into arms, and a massive recovery package which gave millions of Americans tax breaks and stimulus payments done. His big push today, a jobs and infrastructure plan. But the devastating surge in gun violence and national attention on policing this year, spotlighting Biden's unkept promises too.
The other problems we're talking about, from immigration to guns and the other things you mentioned.
The president said he would send a bill to Congress on suing gun manufacturers, but that hasn't come. Neither has a commission on police reform he had pledged. The president's new term also defined by a crushing surge of migrants crossing the border. He tasked his Vice President Kamala Harris with leading the country's response and focusing directly on root causes leading so many to flee. President Biden making good on his campaign promises to roll back many of President Trump's most extreme border policies. But now the White House racing to set up new shelters, like this one in Long Beach, California, to temporarily house unaccompanied minors who crossed alone.
The idea that I'm going to say, which I would never do, that if an unaccompanied child ends up at the border, we're just going to let them starve to death and stay on the other side. No previous administration did that either, except Trump.
This weekend, new video released from Border Patrol showing desperate and extreme measures migrants take. 3 adults lowered over a piece of border wall with ropes. 2 children seen hanging on. Our Matt Gutman reporting from Guatemala this week, where drought and hurricanes have decimated farmland.
Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, the White House.
And time now is 5:45 and it's about 68 degrees right now.
Up next on GMSA, we'll tell you some restaurants are now going to extreme measures to get employees back on the job following pandemic slowdowns. In your morning consumer headlines, a new beer that tastes bad on purpose. Fat Tires released what it calls Torched Earth Ale, which is meant to raise climate awareness. The brewery says it's made with low-quality ingredients that brewers might be forced to use in the future, and the result tastes terrible. For example, instead of fresh hops, it uses hop extracts and dandelions. Fat Tire says it wanted to make the point that climate change affects beer lovers everywhere. Torched Earth Ale continues a commitment to climate change for the company. Last year, Fat Tire became America's first certified carbon-neutral beer.
With COVID restrictions relaxing, restaurants across the U.S. are running into a shortage of workers. So some nationwide chains are now offering signing bonuses. Others are upping pay, and Chipotle is offering college tuition help for workers who log at least 15 hours a week.
It's about 10 till 6 right now.
Check back with Samuel King. Last I looked, the roads were okay.
Yeah, roads are okay, but we do have a couple of problems here and there, Stephanie and Mark, and that includes on Bandera Road on the northwest side here, close to Loop 410. So let's take a closer look at that. We had a crash reported here just before the interchange there at Industrial Drive, but hopefully that will get cleared out fairly shortly. Between 1604 and 410 on Bandera Road, fairly normal, 9 minutes in each direction. So that looks good, and not seeing too many delays from that, and that's a good thing there. Looking at TransGuide, Stephanie mentioned mostly moving well. We're starting to see traffic building a little bit, like at 35 in Martin or 35 at Alamo, but at the moment, mostly things flowing well. We hope that continues, guys.
Not too bad overall. Thank you, Samuel.
Another gorgeous picture.
Yeah.
I just never can tell from this vantage point if it's a sunrise or sunset.
This one is a sunset, but it was from a week ago.
Okay.
But hey, why not? You know, over there around Woodlawn Lake again. Mr. McClellan, thank you very much for that one. And sunset tonight, probably not bad. We'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. I don't think sunrise is going to be anything overly spectacular because we do have a lot of clouds. Notice how it's kind of, again, sort of fuzzy looking out there on that picture. We've got more humidity, not ridiculously humid, but these dew points have definitely gone up compared to yesterday. So we're in the low and some mid 60s around here, even still 50s for dew points out in the hill country, so still comfortable. But these numbers have gone up on average about 10, almost 15 degrees compared to this time yesterday. It was more pleasant, a little on the coolish, if you will, coolish side. Yesterday we were down in the upper 50s, but staying in the low 60s this morning, and we're, mid upper 60s this morning, and it's going to be staying even warmer the next couple of days with all this humidity around here. All right, throughout the rest of today, we'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds, some sun trying to peek on through, but a fair amount of clouds hanging around here. Tuesday, tomorrow, maybe a couple of showers are going to try and pop up here or there, but somewhat better chance for some rain than late tomorrow night and Wednesday. But notice how that's like way up the top of your screen up there. There may be a few of these. This model is not overly bullish with getting them in the hill country, but a couple of those in the hill country are going to be possible late tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, a few showers kind of scattered about. And this is going to be the better chance for some rain around here, especially Wednesday night and overnight into Thursday. And some of the rain may be on the heavy side. That's one thing we're going to have to look out for. And this is going to be, again, Wednesday night late into early Thursday, as also some of those storms could be on the potentially strong side. And this is going to be going on through Thursday morning. Then we're going to start to clear on out of here. And we've got a front that's going to be moving on through as well. So that's going to get rid of a lot of the humidity. Now, tomorrow night, there is the chance for a couple of those storms to be on the strong side. Again, the rain chances are not that great, but high winds and hail are going to be a threat. And then right now, Storm Prediction Center also has that marginal risk for anything severe on Wednesday night. Again, high winds and hail. Then on top of that would be that heavy rain threat. And as far as the dew points, so we stay very humid and get more humid today as well as tomorrow and Wednesday. Then that gets kind of wrung out. There's that front that moves on through here, and that's going to get rid of some of the humidity. So we're going to have a really, really nice couple of days to wrap up April and to start off May on Saturday. 80 today at noon. Mostly cloudy skies. I think we still have a lot of these kind of stubborn clouds hanging around here. And then 89 high temperature. More humid though, so you feel it. Tomorrow, couple of showers here and there, one or two thunderstorms maybe, and then especially tomorrow night, Wednesday night, showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain is going to be a threat, primarily out in the hill country, and then we're going to get rid of the humidity to finish up the week and go into the weekend.
All right, well, watch out for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
5:53.
And coming up, action anime went head-to-head at the weekend box office. We're going to have who ended up on top. That's next.
Hey, baby. Where are your parents? Hey, who's baby? What?
Raya and the Last Dragon finished in the top 5 for the 8th straight weekend, earning $1.7 million. The revenge thriller Nobody made $1.9 million for a 4th place finish. Godzilla vs. Kong fell to 3rd place after 3 weekends on top. $4.2 million gave it a domestic total of more than $86 million.
What an ugly mess.
The anime adventure Demon Slayer the Movie Mugen Train debuted in 2nd place with a strong $19.5 million.
The fate of Earth is in our hands.
Mortal Kombat is the new champ. The latest big screen adaptation of the video game franchise opened in 1st place with $22.5 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Right now it's about 3 minutes till. Who's the better driver, you or your spouse? Still ahead on GMSA, we're taking a look at some of the top complaints people have about the way their spouse drives. Here are your lottery numbers as we go to break. Pick 3, 729 Fireball 6. Daily 4, 3033 Fireball 2. Cash 5, 2, 12, 15, 20, 22. Lotto Texas 3, 6, 19, 24, 39, 43. And finally, we have your Powerball numbers 22, 36, 48, 59, 61. A Powerball of 22, Power Play 3. Checking TransGuide, see how things are looking out there. We have a few more cars on the road at I-10 and Callahan. There's Highway 90 at General McMullen. We're going to take another look at your top overnight stories, national headlines, a local look at the forecast, which includes a chance of storms, and of course, time saver traffic or on-time traffic coming up with Samuel King.
A family forced out of their home following an early morning fire in Live Oak. I'm Stephen Cavazos, and coming up this morning on GMSA, the damage left behind.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we are at 67 degrees. It's shaping up to be another warm day, but hey, that humidity is going to pay off later on. We're going to check in with Mike right now.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hope you had an awesome weekend and were able to stay cool in the afternoons. It is Monday morning. It is April 26th.
Thanks for joining us this morning and welcome back.
Thank you.
I understand you went to your old stomping grounds.
I did. First, got to go see my son play lacrosse. Wish they'd won the game, but it was wonderful seeing him.
That's good.
And then took a jaunt through East Texas and got to go visit SFA and talk to some undergrads about to go out there and do what we do for a living.
Was that a little surreal?
It was very surreal. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Either I'm getting older or they're getting younger. Maybe both.
Maybe a little, just a little bit of both.
But it's
the former.
That's right, exactly.
I'm right there too. They're like, who's the new teacher? Yeah.
Yes, but it was lovely. Great weather. Nacogdoches is a beautiful place.
Has school Stephen F. Austin changed a lot?
Oh yeah, tons of new parking. Where was this parking?
Buildings, new buildings as well.
New buildings, yeah, a bunch of new stuff. But it's good to see you back too. You were out last week as well.
Yes, indeed. Visited my mom and dad and saw my son as well. So, and then come back yesterday. It was absolutely gorgeous. And low humidity, beautiful sunshine. Now the humidity has come back this morning, and it's definitely going to be sticking around throughout the day. You'll notice it, especially later on today. Lots of clouds, kind of that, as I say, sort of fuzzy looking around the headlights there. 65 Hondo, Uvalde, 70 right now, Del Rio, 64 in Carrizo Springs. And we do have a lot of mold out there right now. Looks like we're finally getting rid of oak for this season, and just a little bit of pecan is showing up. And temperatures, we're pretty much going to be staying steady throughout the next couple of hours, thanks to the humidity, the higher humidity, and thanks to the cloud cover out there. And the wind is also going to be picking up. It's going to be out of the southeast to right now about 10-15, about 15-20 later on today, and kind of on the breezy side. 80 today at noon, and then a high temperature. We are going to make it up to the upper 80s, just like yesterday, but we'll feel it a lot more, and sort of a mixture. That may be a little bit on the sunny side. I think sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Good news with the forecast. We do have some decent rain chances, although we could get a little too much in places. We'll talk about that, and beautiful wrap up to the month of April and ringing in the month of May this weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King. Been pretty quiet thus far. Anything new?
Nothing new at this point. A lot of the situations we had here in San Antonio have sort of cleared up. To speak this morning. Good morning to you, everybody, and let's go over to the wall check on Comal County, New Braunfels area. We know things can sort of back up on 35, but right now things looking fine both north and south of New Braunfels. So driving at the speed limit or a little above this morning, so that's a good thing there. And if you're coming in on 35 from New Braunfels into downtown San Antonio, 25 minutes there, 29 minutes if you're coming in from the east on I-10 from Seguin, and 27 minutes on 281 from Belverde into downtown San Antonio. And here's a look at TransGuide 37 at Loop 410, looking fine. And let's get one more here before we send it back over. 35 at Ben Zingelman, traffic building up, but still flowing well. And we'll have another update coming up in a bit. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Samuel. Flames forced them from their home, and now one family is left to deal with thousands of dollars worth of damage.
That fire happened in the 7,000 block of Elusive Pass, not far from East Loop 1604 near Live Oak. Just after 1:30 this morning, our Stephen Cavazos is live there now. Now, Stephen, have investigators determined how this all started?
Well, Mark, Stephanie, that still remains under investigation this morning. And although the scene has already cleared, the damage here is not going anywhere anytime soon. Just take a look right over here. It almost appears as if the roof of that home has almost been ripped off. Now, we're told that the home is a total loss, and most of the damage was on the second floor due to fire and water. Now, crews got here just after 1:30 and found flames coming from the roof and sides of the home. Thankfully, the family that was inside was able to get out safely, but they have lost most of their belongings. Now, I did speak with them off camera briefly, and they did tell me they have not seen the full scope of the damage inside, but the estimated damage, as we're told, is anywhere close between $200,000 to $300,000. Now, the family also says for now they plan to stay with a relative until they can figure out what they'll be doing next. Reporting live this morning, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. And broken glass, frazzled nerves are what is left behind at a Southside convenience store. San Antonio police say both are the results of a run-in with a man who broke into the business early this morning.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened on Fair Avenue near I-37. We understand that the man may not have been after money, Katrina.
Well, that's based on what a witness told me. He says it looks more like he was after blood. He was chasing the employees around with screwdrivers in his hands. And police also say that no money was taken during that incident earlier this morning. Let me give you a look at the video. Police have wrapped up their investigation here, but at one point they had almost a dozen units here at the store at Fair Avenue in I-37. They say before 4 o'clock this morning, a man broke through the glass window of the front door, got inside the business, which was closed at the time. The employees had not opened the doors yet because they were having some sort of computer problems, according to police. The man got inside. He had a couple of screwdrivers in his hands and chased those employees around with those tools. The police got here very quickly. They were able to take him into custody before any of the workers were hurt. But police say that man did cut his hand on the glass. He was taken to a hospital to get that checked out, as well as to have a mental evaluation, according to officers here at the scene. Reporting live on the South Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. San Antonio police searching for a kidnapping victim following an overnight chase. Lufkin police out in East Texas put out an alert for a kidnapping of that woman yesterday. Officers here in San Antonio tracked her to a phone on the east side overnight and spotted a vehicle involved. Police attempted to pull the vehicle over and the suspect took off, leading police on a high-speed chase around San Antonio. Speeds reached up to 100 miles an hour. The suspect in the car was eventually arrested.
Over the past few years, San Antonio police have worked hard to improve homicide statistics, but there was a backslide in 2020. Last year's spike marked the first yearly increase in killings in 3 years. Right now on KSAT.com, we have an article that breaks down why homicides in San Antonio are on the rise and how detectives are hoping to bring justice to the lives taken.
Right now to 6:07 on your Monday, more than 56,000 people have cast their ballots for the May 1st election, and you still have time to participate in the early voting period. Polling locations will be staying open until 8 o'clock tonight and tomorrow to give as many people as possible an opportunity to take advantage of early voting. You can see a sample ballot and find your polling spot over at KSAT.com. Once again, Election Day coming up Saturday, May 1st.
And to take an even deeper dive into one of the biggest items on the ballot, you can check out the latest episode of KSAT Explains. The team tackles Proposition B, which, if passed, would repeal collective bargaining for the San Antonio Police Officers Association. We take a look at arguments for and against Prop B. You can watch it right now on KSAT.com or the KSAT TV app, which can be downloaded for free from the iTunes or Google Play Store.
A massive fire at the old Lone Star Brewery complex kept firefighters busy over the weekend. Happened just before 11 Saturday night. San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood says at least 40 units arrived to fight the flames to prevent the fire from spreading through the 6-story building. Firefighters were faced with significant challenges, including a lack of electricity at the brewery complex. The fire left many in the community shocked and are now left reminiscing.
Makes me feel sad because we have a lot of fond memories of when we used to come over here when we were younger. So what I see now versus what I remember in my mind is totally different. and it just makes me feel sad because of what it could have been, or what it could be too in the future.
There were no injuries in the fire. Chief Hood said the fire was suspicious, but as of right now, the cause of the fire is officially undetermined. An investigation is ongoing.
San Antonio Metro Health has been treating violence like a disease with its stand-up SA program since 2015. The employees say their own personal experiences with violence has helped the program become successful, even managing to double its staff and resources. Terry Hubbard says he joined the program that focuses on retaliatory crime after growing up without a father, in the care of an overwhelmed mother and an aunt looking after 13 children.
They educated me on domestic violence, on gang violence, on how to mediate conflicts, how to talk down someone with a gun or a knife, so there won't be no retaliations on fighting or any gang violence.
Hubbard and his teammates work to prevent things like gun violence, trafficking, and drug incidents for both kids and adults. The outreach now hopes with its new resources, more problems can be addressed before they turn violent.
Monday morning, glad you're with us here on GMSA. Right now, it's exactly 10 minutes past the hour.
And next on GMSA, we're going to hear from a talented girl who's getting some recognition for taking care of Texas.
She's a special little lady. That's coming up right now outside with live cam as we wait for that Monday morning sunrise. Kind of an interesting forecast from Mike, and we'll check back in to see how the Monday morning commute is going so far with Samuel King. Trending right now on KSAT.com, a story in partnership with the San Antonio Business Journal. San Antonio's luxury home market is the 10th fastest growing in the nation. Sales of the top 5% most expensive homes in San Antonio grew 5% year over year in the first quarter. Other cities that have fast growing markets are Portland and Jacksonville. You can find more information right now at KSAT.com.
And this week on What's Up South Texas, a multi-talented sixth grader won a Take Care of Texas campaign competition after raising awareness about the Texas aquifers. 12-year-old Sophia Ramirez can perform, play piano, and knows her way around a camera. She started her project in school, never knowing that her PSA would be chosen out of 200 other participants. Sophia says she made it happen by just doing things that she loves. She hopes her story pushes others to do the same.
Just go for it. If like the worst thing that can happen is you don't win. Like, why not just try?
Good advice. And for more on her story or others featured on What's Up South Texas, you can visit the What's Up South Texas tab on our website, KSAT.com.
What's up with the morning commute?
Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King.
Things looking mostly fine there, Mark and Stephanie. Starting with some travel times, 28 minutes are coming in on I-37 from the Pleasanton area, 19 minutes from Castroville and US 90, and 16 minutes on I-35 from Lytle into downtown San Antonio. We had a crash here earlier in 410 at Bandera. And now we're seeing a bit of a stalled vehicle here on the side, but not on 410 itself. As you can see, that is flowing fairly well this morning, but just something to watch out for if you're coming off of Bandera or 410 there. For the most part, hopefully that gets cleared up pretty soon. Take a look at I-10 here, 24 minutes coming in from Bernie, 24 minutes heading outbound that way. And once you're inside 1604, 13 minutes heading from 1604 to downtown, 11 minutes heading the other way this morning, guys.
Very good. And there were a couple days last week where we had a couple of mornings where the kids needed the jackets going to the bus stop, but I don't know about today. Probably not.
No, not today. Maybe by late in the week, because we're looking at some drier air coming in here, and temperatures will be in the 50s, which means obviously cooler in the hill country. So a light jacket by the end of the week, and then midweek, hopefully get some use out of a rain jacket or an umbrella. Now, this morning, yeah, it is fairly mild out there. We're in the mid and upper 60s around much of the area, and we are going to be seeing kind of a mixture of sunshine and clouds later on today. 89 for a high temperature, about where it was yesterday, but more humidity. And also, as you can see, it's going to be on the breezy side with those winds out of the southeast about 15, 20 miles per hour. Beautiful picture of the full moon today. Actually, this evening is when the moon is at its fullest point. Now, this says beautiful blue moon. It has kind of in this picture, a little bluish tint. It is not a blue moon. That, by definition, is the second full moon in a calendar month. It is, however, the pink moon, and it's the full pink and supermoon, because it's also on top of that, it is a supermoon. First of all, the name full pink moon comes from the herb moss pink or wild ground phlox, which was one of the first flowers that started to bloom and covered a lot of the ground up around the Great Lakes area. And then first of two supermoons, the next supermoon is going to be next month's full moon, and that just means it's at just about the closest point to Earth in its orbit. So it looks about 7% or so bigger than normal. And we should get an okay view of it. There's going to be some clouds hanging around here tonight, but I think we'll be able to see some of that. This morning, no sunrise at all and no moon set at all. We got a lot of clouds and a lot of humidity. Again, humidity has gone up about, maybe 10, 15 degrees compared to this time yesterday. These dew point temperatures have. And so therefore, you feel it more, and it's going to continue to go up as the day rolls on. And we will have just basically sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds, maybe a few more clouds out there to the west later on today. And also, a couple of showers coming in here tomorrow. We may have, with the extra humidity, perhaps even a little bit of mist or a patch of fog around tomorrow morning. Then throughout the day, a couple of showers are going to be possible. Not a great chance of rain, just possible. Then tomorrow night, chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Again, this model is not real big on putting it into the hill country, but there is that chance in the hill country. But the better chance of rain is coming in here on Wednesday, and especially Wednesday night. We're going to get some showers and thunderstorms developing. Heavy downpours can be expected with those, and potentially some severe storms. That's going to be left over into Thursday. Then all that's going to be clearing on out once we get into the latter half of the day on Thursday, and we get a front moving on through here, and that's going to bring in some beautiful, beautiful weather for the end of the week as well as going into the weekend. 80 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature today up to 89, and more humidity though than what we had around here yesterday, and sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Tomorrow, a couple of showers going to be possible, not very likely though. 85 for a high temperature, back up to 90. It's going to be hot and humid on Wednesday, with a few showers around here, and especially late Wednesday night, some of that heavy rain potential is out there. We do have the very small chance, I should say, marginal risk technically for a couple of severe storms late Wednesday night. Heavy rain, though, is what we'll have to watch out for. Leftover rain early Thursday, and then clearing on out. Look at that, 57 for low temperatures Saturday morning, 58 Friday morning. Maybe a light jacket, just to get one last use out of it.
I know. I was going to say that might be our last shot.
Reason, so yeah.
Yeah.
Just as long as we can see a sky blue like that on your tie.
Like your tie.
At some point this week.
Late in the week, especially.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to that then.
Yep.
Otherwise, don't tease us like that, Mike.
Sorry.
It's okay. Rain looks good. 6:19 on your Monday morning.
A major car retailer making plans for a shift to all electric vehicles. Details after the break.
Moderate to severe psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain, and the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Good morning, I'm Lara Spencer, and as usual, the second the Academy Awards end, we get to work interviewing the night's biggest winners. Here's your first look. You've been a huge star in South Korea for a long time. Now you're a huge star all over the world, and very much so here in the U.S. How does that feel?
In Korea, there's all the young rising star is a huge star, they call. I'm just an old actress. I don't know how to describe yet. Maybe tomorrow, about a week later, wow, I really had an Oscar supporting actress. Maybe. Right now I'm not feeling anything.
And that is just a sampling of what we have coming up at 7 a.m. on Good Morning America. You do not want to miss our big Oscars after party. Until then, this is your first look.
Honda has announced plans to shift its car sales entirely to electric vehicles by 2040 in order to phase out all of its gas-powered cars and SUVs over the next 20 years. The automaker is using a new electric vehicle platform to build the cars with the goal of becoming carbon neutral.
All right, Spurs fans, our team will try to get their third win in a row tonight when they face the Wizards on the road in Washington, D.C. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock San Antonio time. Then coming up on Wednesday, Spurs travel to Miami to face the Heat. That one starts at 7. And then Friday, they head up the coast to Boston to take on the Celtics. Team comes home to on Sunday to welcome the 76ers to the AT&T Center. I was telling Steph, since I was off last week, I actually could stay up and watch a Spurs game, and I hadn't seen them all season. Just, again, I know we've talked about it a lot on the air about how they've struggled this year. I think when I saw them, they were 29-29 on the year. There's just something, I mean, there's sparks in there. There's some young, great players.
But they haven't.
Just something not quite missing. And that was a game they wound up winning,
I was going to say, at least they won the game you were watching.
They beat the Pistons, but as you guys were talking about while I was gone, the Pistons just kind of stink this year.
Well,
right?
that's David blew my
You're trying to pump the Spurs up.
I was all excited, and he was like, well, they are the worst team in the league, talking about the Pistons. I'm like, hey, let me have my moment.
Right.
The Spurs won.
Well, maybe we could get a couple more wins this week, another busy week. I know that they've just been jam-packed schedule-wise, tons of back-to-back, so go Spurs, go.
Yes, hang in there. Go Spurs, go. Time now is 6:25 and about 68 degrees.
Want to start a fight? All right, bring this up. Who's the better driver, you or your spouse? Coming up next half hour, we'll take a look at some of the top complaints people allegedly have about their significant other's driving skills.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. The U.S. is still struggling with the economic impact of the pandemic. Coming up, how leaders from the Alamo City are prioritizing local efforts in the state's recovery.
And of course, we are live right now. Samuel King here in the studio, keeping an eye on the roads for you. We have some flashing lights there. 410 and Bandera looks like it's down on the frontage. We'll try to get an update on that. Sun's trying to come up. We've got your top stories, a forecast, and we'll check in with Samuel coming up.
Workers at this Southside convenience store trying to get back to business as usual after what was a frightening experience this morning. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
A family left wondering what they'll do next following an early morning fire here in Live Oak. I'm Stephen Cavazos, and coming up this morning on GMSA, we take a look at that damage left behind.
Just now waking up, take a peek at 410 area out on the north side. We're seeing a few peaks of sunrise behind those morning clouds and still dealing with temperatures in the upper 60s. Not much of a fall overnight, but good morning to you. It is Monday, the 26th of April.
Hi, happy Monday, and welcome back, Mark.
Good to be back. Off last week, got a few trips under my belt, and timed it just right for my second dose of my vaccine. So fully vaccinated, and the second dose symptoms were kind of on track with what we've been reporting.
A lot of people have.
Yeah, some fatigue, minor chills, but it was over in like a day or so.
I'm glad you're back, and glad you're better.
Thank you.
And also back, our Mike.
Yeah, Mike Osterhage.
Good morning. Yeah, it's as you can see, we got a lot of clouds hanging around here this morning. It was a beautiful weekend. Got pretty warm yesterday. It's going to be just as warm now. The end of the week to finish up, if you can believe, April's already winding down. But to finish out the month of April and start in May, it's going to be just fantastic around here. And we've got some rain in the forecast, so keep your fingers crossed for that. Yeah, a lot of clouds, a couple of holes here and there. Maybe some folks will see a bit of a sunrise this morning, but overall, I'm not really banking on it. 67 degrees right now. Dew point's up to 62, which is a lot more humidity than what we had yesterday. So you kind of feel it's not bad, but throughout the day, the humidity is definitely going to be going up. Wind is out of the south at 11 miles per hour. There are some, spots where there's a slight bit of reduced visibility, not much. I think it's just kind of that fuzzy look from all the humidity. The wind, which is out of the southeast, about 5, 10, 15 miles per hour, is helping to prevent any fog from really forming up around here. It is going to be on the breezy side today. Mold is on the high side. Oak and pecan are both low, and a bit more humid this morning, and then sunny. Sunshine and clouds mixed together. It is going to be hot. It is going to be humid today. Tomorrow, a couple of showers are possible and maybe a thunderstorm, especially tomorrow night. But the best chance of rain is going to be coming in here on Wednesday, and especially late Wednesday, overnight into Thursday. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and some potentially heavy rain. However, all that's going to be touched off by a bit of a cool front, which is going to get rid of the humidity and also bring in, like I said, beautiful weather to finish up the week and start off the month of May this weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King, you really haven't had much to talk about this morning.
Not too much going on, just a few things here and there. Mike, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone out there. This is 410 at Bandera. Mark was mentioning this before the half hour there. We've had a situation, looks like they're on the frontage roads there as we head over to the wall, and you can see the flashing lights there, but again, not on 410 itself, which seems to be flowing well. But again, if you're in the area of Bandera and Loop 410, just something to watch out for. Looking at the rest of the area, do have a stalled vehicle here on 410 near the airport heading westbound. A little bit of a slowdown there on the westbound lanes, but otherwise things looking fine. And here's some travel times for you if you're coming in from Belverde. 26 minutes on 281, also 26 minutes coming in from New Braunfels on 35, and 29 minutes coming in on I-10 from Seguin. And we'll have another update coming up.
Thank you, Samuel. It's not even daylight yet, but it already has been a trying morning for workers at a Southside convenience store. They told police they had to dodge an attack by a man who broke into the business.
Happened on Fair Avenue near Interstate 37. Katrina Weber has the details on a live report for us this morning. Katrina, you mentioned earlier that a witness says he seemed to be out for blood.
Well, that's right. That witness told me that the suspect seemed intent on hurting these workers, that he was trying to stab them with a couple of screwdrivers. The San Antonio police wasted no time in getting here after they received that 911 call just before 4 o'clock this morning, and they turned out in force, nearly a dozen units. Police say the employees told them the doors were locked because they were having computer problems, but that didn't stop the man who broke through the glass and got inside. We spoke to another man who says he was riding by on his bicycle when he noticed the commotion and tried to help. Well, paramedics bandaged up the witness's arm. He intervened and was cut by the screwdrivers himself, but just a minor cut. Police also took the suspect to the hospital. He had cut his hands when he tried to break through the glass, but police say they also wanted the suspect to have a mental evaluation because they noticed some unusual activity. As for the workers, they were not hurt, but according to that witness, they were very shaken up when he arrived here at the scene. Reporting live on the South Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Flames forced them from their home, and now one family left to deal with thousands of dollars worth of damage. That fire happened in the 7,000 block of Elusive Pass, not far from 1604 near Live Oak, just after 1:30 this morning. Most of the damage was on the second floor. I believe that was the wrong video. Thankfully, the family that was inside was able to get out safely. They have lost most of their belongings. Damage estimated to be close to $300,000.
New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman was hit by a vehicle late last night while trying to cross the street in the downtown area. It happened at the intersection of North Alamo and 8th Street just after 11 p.m. Police say 2 men and the woman were crossing the street after leaving a bar. That's when police say a man driving a car ended up hitting the woman. She was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening head injury. No one else was hurt. Police say the driver was being evaluated for DWI. And strong, skilled, and ready to succeed. That's the mission of the Holsworth Center wants districts to achieve.
The nonprofit has partnered with 6 districts around the state to help them thrive so students can get most out of their education. Stephen Cavazos reports.
Supporting students' basic needs is a prerequisite for them to be able to learn and achieve.
And East Central ISD is about to receive an extra boost of that support from the Holdsworth Center. The nonprofit will team up with the district for a 5-year partnership in which they will invest $6 million to develop leaders who can rise to any challenge, but more importantly, help students succeed.
We've aspired to do that for a very long time and have done a lot of work around that, but the Holdsworth Center really is the best partner to support us in realizing that vision.
Each year, 6 districts are chosen for the partnership, and the investment goes towards campuses, as well as training for teachers, principals, and district leaders. Holdsworth Center President Lindsay Horton believes COVID-19 has led to a greater need as districts overcome new barriers.
I think that's why we had 43 applications this year, because this moment is demanding extraordinary leadership.
HEB Chairman Charles Budd founded the Holdsworth Center in 2017, and they now work in 19 districts around the state. Horton says they've seen positive impacts through those partnerships, but their mission is far from over.
That will be the work and the task that's before us for the next 5 years is to figure out how to be of service to a state with the scope of Texas.
Superintendent Toscano says the partnership is a step forward for East Central ISD.
We feel affirmed by their decision to select us and certainly grateful.
And that was our Stephen Cavazos reporting. San Antonio Metro Health upping its effort to make getting the COVID-19 vaccine easier for communities all over San Antonio. Sunday, they kicked off their mobile vaccine clinic at Antioch Sports Complex over on the east side. There, people were able to walk up, fill out an application, and get their vaccine dose. Antioch Missionary Baptist Church Pastor Dr. Kenneth Kemp says there's no excuse why you should not get a vaccine.
Just hundreds of millions of people have been vaccinated, and the number of adverse events have been so minuscule that it just doesn't make sense to wait anymore. Now is the time. Let's do it.
Next clinic scheduled for today from 9 to 5 at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Ray Ellison Boulevard. That's on the west side. You must be 16 years of age or older. For more information about this and other clinics, visit this story on our website at KSAT.com.
We know cities across the country and across the world are dealing with the economic impact of the pandemic. And the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce has been front and center trying to help out our local economy.
Chamber of Commerce Public Policy Council Chair joined Leading SA this past weekend.
We spoke with Jamie Mangelsdorf, the Public Policy Council Chair. We talked about a lot, specifically testifying on the bills at the state capitol that could have a huge impact on our local economy. Take a listen.
Senate Bill 14 is also another bill that we testified on and that we are front and center with our legislators in Austin. So this bill was filed by Senator Brandt Creighton, and it would provide stability for Texas employers by preventing local governments from imposing burdensome and inconsistent mandates on private sector employment practices.
You can watch the entire interview right now. Just head to KSAT.com. It is fascinating as Jamie explains the bills and these economic implications. We have Leading SA every weekend, so if you have anyone you'd like to hear from or if you have any questions that you would like asked, you can submit that right now to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com or email me or Sarah Acosta. Guys, back to you.
And time now is 6:40 and about 68 degrees right now.
Oh boy, here we go. Still ahead on GMSA. Look at some of the top complaints people have about the way their spouse drives. That's coming up right after the break. 6:43, welcome back. We're not trying to start trouble this morning, but we're about to anyway. Who is the better driver, you or your spouse? Regardless of which is true, it's safe to say most couples have had some issues with their significant other while driving or being driven.
Hint, hint. Okay, Sarah Acosta has a look at top complaints couples have about their spouse's driving habits.
If you're planning a road trip for your next vacation, odds are you might get in some sort of disagreement about driving habits with your spouse. According to a survey posted in The Sun, there are several arguments that most couples get into. First, not using turn signals. Not only is this not safe, but it can get you pulled over and lead to a possible ticket. Another cause for arguments is braking at the last minute. This can be scary for your passengers who don't know if you're fully in control of the car. Rounding out some of the top complaints are speeding, tailgating, and staying in the left lane the whole time you're driving. Of course, the most popular complaint are spouses using their smartphones while driving, whether it's texting, using social media apps, or watching videos. Some honorable mentions for complaints include spouses that put on makeup while driving and taking turns too fast. So as you embark on your next vacation on the road this summer, keep some of these in mind so you might be able to give your spouse and other drivers around you a little more peace of mind. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
I'm done. I'm not saying another word.
Ooh, that's a touchy subject.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate about you and Luis?
Well, I can because my husband's asleep right now.
All right.
He won't hear any of this. No, I mean, he is a better driver, but when it's my turn to drive, he should let me have my turn.
Right.
In peace.
Right.
In peace.
Or
yes.
what will happen.
So
Steph?
he's a backseat driver.
Oh my goodness. I just told Mark that I pulled over and I just okay, you drive. It's like,
I love it.
I'd rather just sit in peace. Go ahead.
Oh boy. Talk amongst yourselves. So it's
Yes.
about 1:45 right now. Here's Samuel King, our traffic expert. What's the latest, Samuel?
Well, there were some good safety tips in there, no matter how you feel about your spouse, especially the turn signals. That's an important one.
True.
This just cleared up while we were talking there. 410 at Bandera, we had some sort of situation on the frontage road there, but that is just cleared. The tow truck pulled away and the vehicles are good to go. And looking here, traffic building a little bit on 410 itself, but things are looking fine here. You can see on the map there are not too many slowdowns at that area, 410 and Bandera. Right here at 281 and between 1604 and Bulverde Road, we did have a report of a crash here at TPC Parkway, but the travel times are looking fine. There's some construction up there, of course, and that's going to continue throughout the day and overnight. So just again, if you travel 281 north of 1604, just something to watch out for this morning. We'll take another look here at TransGuide. This is 410 and Bandera, and let's go here to 281 at 410. You can see, guys, traffic building a little bit there. So just something to keep in mind as the morning moves along.
Oh, watch out for it. Thank you, Samuel.
Mike, did you want to elaborate on the whole spouse driving habit thing at all?
Do you think I'm that dumb?
Nah. But beautiful sky behind you, Mike.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a good friend, Mark.
Look at that traffic. Look at the sky. Is it raining? Not raining? What's going on?
Mama didn't raise no dummy. Anyway, we got a lot of clouds out there, and a couple of breaks. We're trying to see a little bit of sunrise. I don't think we're going to see much of it, though. Nothing spectacular. And there's a lot of humidity. You can see some of the fuzz there right along the horizon. And as far as temperatures, 67 degrees, 62 as the dew point temperature. Visibility, there's a hint, and I think I might have. Let me go do something to my computer. I think I have the wrong show called up here, so I need the longer one for the longer weather. But you can see we do have a little bit of a breeze going on as of right now. And it is going to be breezier, especially later on this afternoon. And here we go. Now I'll get things going and got to show the beautiful flowers out there right now. Yes.
Nice.
Voila.
That's what I wanted to see. Thank you, Yvonne.
That is beautiful.
Love when the flowers are blooming. All right, once again, there's a look at the live cam. And as far as the computer model, we do have a chance for some rain coming in here the next couple of days. Nothing... Is that not going to work for me? Nothing too extreme today nor tomorrow, but tomorrow night and then into Wednesday is when we're going to be on the lookout for some heavy downpours on Wednesday and potentially a couple of stronger storms. So today, not much out there. Maybe a couple of little sprinkles around tomorrow morning just because of the extra humidity coming on in here. And then we go into tomorrow night and a couple of showers and thunderstorms develop in portions of the hill country and work their way across in the overnight hours. Then Wednesday, that's going to be the day for the better chance for some rain. We'll see a few of those showers, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon and then working their way across. Then another sort of wave of that comes in here late Wednesday night, early on Thursday morning, and a few of those leftovers. And again, some of those may be potentially severe, just a marginal risk tomorrow night in parts of the hill country. And then again on Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, that marginal risk for a couple of showers, a couple of potentially severe storms with high winds and some hail. But then on top of that, we're going to have to watch out for heavy downpours Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, primarily in the hill country. 80 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. A lot of these stubborn clouds hanging around here. I'm just going to call it sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds later on today. 89 for a high temperature. And we are going to have a lot more humidity out there, breezy conditions today. Chance of rain tomorrow, and then especially tomorrow night. Wednesday and mainly Wednesday night is when we're going to see showers, thunderstorms around here, and potentially some heavy rain. A lot of humidity, very hot on Wednesday, up to 90, but we get rid of the humidity, and temperatures are going to be down in the low 80s to finish out the work week and the month, and start off the month of May, and low humidity around here. So next couple of days, very humid. At least we have the rain chance.
Can't believe we're about to say adios to April already.
It went by fast, but I'm glad we're ending it on a sort of cool note.
Yeah, it'll be real nice to finish up the month. So
very good. Thank you, Mike.
About 10 till right now, 68 degrees.
And if you work from home and find it hard to stay motivated, experts say the way your home is decorated could be the reason why. Tomorrow on GMSA, how your environment plays a role on your overall mood and productivity.
One more time outside with live cam. The news you need to know before you go is still to come, and we'll check back in with Samuel King standing by live in the traffic lab.
Coming up here on GMA, we are celebrating the Oscars, giving you that old-time Hollywood feel. There are folks who are live in Hollywood to bring you the latest, all the surprises from overnight in the big show, and the unforgettable moments. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the winners. And then, of course, it's time for our Oscars after party. We have 3 top stylists with their favorite red carpet looks, and also the top trends of the night, plus how you can make some of those looks work for your daytime. I'm about to wear a gold giant skirt. That's all I know. That's coming up right here on GMA.
San Antonio police say he took no money but did leave behind some fearful workers. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. That frightful run-in for them happened at this 7-Eleven earlier this morning. Police swarmed the parking lot here at Fair Avenue near Interstate 37 after getting that call before 4 o'clock this morning. They say a man broke through the glass of the store's locked doors, got inside, then chased and threatened the workers with a couple of screwdrivers. Officers arrived before he could hurt anyone, but they say that suspect did cut his hand while breaking out the glass. I spoke to a witness who says that he was cut with a screwdriver himself after he intervened. He suffered a minor cut and was treated here at the scene. Police did take the suspect to the hospital, they say, for cut hands as well as a mental evaluation. Reporting from the South Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
It's now 5 till 7.
Let's check back with Samuel King. Is there still that situation, Loop 410, Bandera Road?
That has cleared up, but we do have some other situations to tell you about, Stephanie and Mark, in just a moment. But first, a quick look at travel times. 24 minutes coming in on I-10 from Bernie, 27 minutes on 35 from New Braunfels. As we head over here to the wall here, we see a couple of those incidents there, including 281 here in the north side. I mentioned just a few minutes ago, TPC Parkway, a small bit of a delay, something to watch out for. Also delays building on the east side there, Loop 410 at I-10 east down to 24 miles per hour in spots. My cloudy skies this morning.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of little bright spots here and there, but pretty much just cloudy skies. And we'll see more sunshine later on today. Still at 67 right now, and the humidity, kind of notice it a little bit, and you'll really notice it later on today. Sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. 89 for a high temperature, and some breezy winds out of the southeast at 15-20 miles per hour. Better rain chance tomorrow. Best rain chance is going to be late Wednesday. Showers, storms, maybe some heavy downpours.
Go out there and make it a great day.
Yeah, have a great Monday. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here at 9.